Hello, you superstars. Doug here. It is day 17 of 21 days of yoga. As we dive in this session, we're going to find rotation, twist, and a little bit of balance, mostly rooting into our core through the corkscrew and spiral of our internal body, our internal frame. I will meet you on your mat when you're ready in just a moment. As in last session, and honestly in all sessions, go ahead and grab your block if you wish and leave it at the top of your mat. We'll utilize some balancing. The blocks is always a handy little vehicle to bring the earth a little bit closer to you and you a little bit closer to the earth. And when you're ready, we'll roll onto our backs, finding a nice, easy pose. Arms fall by your side, legs walk out long if that feels good for your lower back, or you can keep those knees bent, really taking your time. Wiggle out your hips. Inhale in, expand, lift up and walk the crown of your head towards the back of your mat. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone softly, strengthen through that front belly. Here for 3 breaths, just breathing into your hips, your shoulders, and the connected points between the two. Holding for the exhale, just letting your focus really fall into that well. On your next breath in, maybe walk your energy out towards your knees, your elbows, your shoulder blades, your collarbones, your clavicles. As you exhale, let that breath go. Last but not least, breathe all the way out to your edges, your fingertips, your toes, the crown of your head. Fill up, expand vertically, horizontally. On your breath out, draw your knees into your chest, flex your toes, wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a big squeeze, a large compression, forward to meet your knees. Beautiful, here for 3, 2, great. On 1, careful, release your left leg long, hug your right knee into your chest, extending through that heel, big breath in. We're gonna rotate over to our right. And again, this knee may not fall onto your mat, so don't worry about that. Modify, you can grab that block of yours and slide underneath. But we're just here for 3 breaths. Perhaps the inside arch of your foot finds your earth and that gives you stability. Last 2. Eyes more traveling towards your sky than traveling over your right shoulder. Last 1. Inhale back to your center. Control this lift. Stack your right knee up and over your right hip. Float your left knee in. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Wiggle it out, compress it out. And then fly that right heel of yours all the way out to your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring it up. Extend your left knee this time. Over to your right, left hip stacking. Over your right, twist it out. Knee does not have to touch your mat as always. And gaze is just floating toward your sky, opening up your heart for 2. Fantastic. Last 1. Inhale. Left knee pulls itself back to your center point. Flex your toes. Give yourself that big squeeze. You deserve it. Carefully rock and roll up and down your spine 3, 4, 5 times. And as you're rock and rolling, let's play with a little bit of that balance. Once again, finding our boat pose on this next exhale. Heels, perhaps they discover your mat. Perchance they fly, hands can float out. And we're gonna hold in this strength. And you can see here, my friend, I'm rounding a little bit in my front shoulders. So squeezing your shoulders by your ears and then draping them down your back, reconnecting your fingertips and then flying once again. We're here for 2. You can point, flex your toes. Last 1. Exhale, cross your ankles, wrap your arms around your shins, take a nice little seated cat-cow, just opening up and pressing out. 2 more times. As you're pressing through, as you're rolling through your tailbone, expanding to your lower back, lifting to your heart, and on that inhale, yeah. Exhale, last time. Cat your spine, chin into your chest. Inhale, roll it up, crown of your head meets your sky. We're gonna discover our tabletop position. So work your way through that in whatever fashion feels nice. And today, if you do feel a little tension in your wrist, go ahead and explore those as well. maybe flipping your hands, bending your elbows, and just dropping those hips, getting a stretch across the back of the wrist. Flaring your fingertips out, thumbs forward, and swing left and right. Any of these options, drawing circles in the ground, are available for you. So we're here for 5. Just kind of moving through what your body's speaking to. Last 4. Right? 2. 1. Big breath in on 1. Left hand's gonna stay grounded and rooted. Strengthen for your exhale. Rotate through those biceps. Left hand is staying where it's at. Inhale, right hand rises. Open up. Notice how your hips are squaring to your mat. We're gonna keep those hips squared. As you exhale, twist it out. Right hand threading underneath your left armpit. Float your right hand off your mat. Inhale, back through your center. All the way to your sky. Exhale, thread your needle. Let's do that one more time. And inhale, opening up, hips still square, even though the heart expanding towards your right wall. Exhale, thread your needle. Heart peers underneath your left arm. But again, pelvic bone is firmly rooted to your earth. Inhale, right hand rises up. Exhale, right arm down to your mat. Take it to the other side. Left arm reaches up towards your sky as you big breath in. Exhale, thread your needle, float your left arm off your mat. So we're not going for this big twist, really extending out, noticing that connection from our left side all the way to our left fingertips. Inhale, left hand rises on your breath. Exhale, floats and dives under. One more time. Last exhale. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale. Root into your left fingertip, root into your right fingertip. Draw your elbows, squeeze your inner thighs, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back, pedal out those legs. And as we're pedaling out our legs, rotation happens through your lower spine, travels down your thoracic, into the crown of your head. Last 3. 2. Careful on 1, lift your hips, lift your heels, gaze to the top of your mat. Tiptoe your feet to meet your wrists. When you get to the very top of your mat, feet are going to stay hip width distance apart. Draw your gaze down towards your big toes. Big toes are pointing straight ahead. Heels slightly further apart than your big toes. Knife edges of your feet almost parallel. The architecture of your feet might not make that fully possible, like mine go a little wider. They got big old feet, but that's okay. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your knee. Roll over your thighs into your chest. Inhale, rise it up. Just stacking bone on top of bone. Let your eyes be closed here. And as your shoulders kiss your earlobes, exhale. Waterfall any tension down your back. Sweep it through your tailbone, your hips into your heels, arms fall by your side. Inhale in, let that breath spiral down. And as it falls into your root, and as your root dives deeper and deeper through your legs, all the way to your toes, into your heels and beyond that. Just notice that stretch, that connection. Not one of stiffness or stillness, but one of breath and body movement. One more inhale in. As you Ujjayi exhale, let your practice wrap around you in that same spiraling fashion. Not just bringing you here, but growing you out and up. Blink, open your eyes. Inhale, arms to rise up, fingertips to grow, pinkies to twirl internal. As you exhale, just roll your shoulders down your back. So we're just gonna take a second here and appreciate what's going on in your arms. As you rotate your pinkies in and your elbows start to open up towards your ears, your shoulders fall onto your back. That sensation of your entire shoulder connected to your body deepens. Take one more breath in. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So we're going to explore that same thought process through our legs and utilize that as we dive into some balancing postures. So press into your toes, into your pinkies, and as you're finding that connection, deepen into your heels, rotate your front inner thighs in. Notice how that expands your glutes. You'll feel that lifting or that openness across your hamstrings. Tailbone now can really tuck through. So drive that tailbone. Now that we have that nice little pathway, that valley. One more breath in. On your exhale, relax your arms down. Spiraling from your toes on your breath in, spiral it all the way to your fingertips, mountain pose. What's different about this posture now that we're constructing in this 360 degrees, this three-dimensional structure, not this front plane, back plane, side plane, but all the planes growing cohesively. One more breath in. Exhale, hands come to heart center once again. We're gonna root into our right foot. We're gonna lift our left knee up. So flex your toes. Drive that left shin forward while keeping your left knee parallel with your left hip. If this is an aggravating thing, you can always drop those toes down. Once again, the block is handy. You can always place your toe on that block. Wherever you're at, take a breath in. Exhale, right hand travels towards your left thigh, left shin, left quad. Inhale, left arm opens up, over towards your left. So we're taking this heart open. Because of our grasp of our right hand to the left thigh, utilize your right pectoral, your right bicep. Deepen this twist. Squeeze your left scapula onto your back. Spiral from your right hip all the way down. Yes, into the big toe of your right foot. Pinky heel. Last three. Two. You're doing phenomenal. Final one. Release your left leg down, right hand falls away. Inhale. Arms to rise. Once again, discover your feet. Rooting down from your hips all the way into your heels, all 10 toes. Shoulders rising up to your fingertips. Exhale, shift your weight over to your left foot. Bend your right knee, flex your right toes. One-legged Tadasana. Left hand onto your right thigh. Right hand works its way back. Tuck your tailbone. Draw into your core. Spiral through the crust of the earth into your sun. Straighten out your right shin so it's parallel to the front of your earth, front of your mat. Maybe your gaze travels over to your right. Slide your right shoulder onto your back a little bit deeper, last two. Press through your foot to lift up one. Careful, release your right foot. Inhale, arms to rise, fingertips to grow. Fantastic. Exhale, release your arms behind your back, intertwine your fingertips. As you intertwine your fingertips, your palms might want to open out, but we're going to squeeze them together. Draw those knuckles down and lift through your heart. Good. And just on this stretch, extend through your elbows, tuck your tailbone, shift your hips forward, open up from your hips all the way across your shoulders, down your back. Last breath in, press into your heels, press into all 10 toes. Float your heart even higher to the sky. Notice that extension, that juxtaposition from your lower Uddiyana Bandha all the way to your heart center. Exhale, relax your arms. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, Samasthiti, close your eyes. Chin falls into your chest a little bit. Thumbs on your heart. 2 breaths here. Final inhale. Exhale, relax your hands, blink open your eyes. Tadasana mountain pose once again. Exhale, swan dive. Float it down. Bend your knees. On your descent, enjoy your ride. Hands to your mat, right foot stays grounded. Step your left leg back. And then release your left knee down. Untuck your left toes. Nice little stretch across our left quad. And we can keep our hands grounded. You can always walk your hands onto your right quad and take that dragon's pose. But understand what's going on in your lower back. If there's already tension there, we don't need to do any more. So from here, an option is just to press really, really gently into the top of your left foot, and that electricity will ride up your shin, and maybe your back knee detaches. Not a necessity. Last 2. Good, on 1. Bring that left knee back to your mat. Walk Your hands back, take a nice little half split. Left hip travels towards your left heel, flex your toes. Rotate the right hip back, extend through the back of that hamstring. And as we're finding balance and stability across our legs, we need that flexibility to really explore and hold on to that strength. Take it here for 3, 2. Careful on 1, bend your front knee, walk yourself forward, tuck your left toes. This is a great opportunity to grab your block and maybe place it right at the very top of your mat. Lift your left knee, square your hips, crescent to rise. Once you find your Anjaneyasana, your crescent lunge, bend your knees, discover that foundational pose that feels really good. We're gonna take a nice open arm twist on your next exhale. Right hand travels back, left hand travels forward. Once again, your hips are square. And then this rotation, deepen into your front right knee bend, extend even further into your left heel. Last one. Inhale back into your crescent. Do that one more time on your own. Use your entire exhale to twist. And as you bring out your spine, you reach out through those side bodies, those edge bodies of yours. Inhale back into your crescent. Exhale, hands come to heart center, hinge forward, lighten the toes. Left hand can come down towards your block or your mat as you shift forward, warrior 3. Hands on block will truly allow you to find a nice equilibrium. You can see how my shoulders stack more so evenly with my hips than when my hands are grounded. My leg is a little taller, and that's just you working through your body. Whichever variation you're at, stay pat, hips, again, focus towards your earth. Inhale, right arm starts to rise up, and let your eyes stay down at your ground. Your arm reaches up, slowly deepen that rotation. As you find your depth, then you can track your eyes over your right wall, up towards your sky. You want this twist to really be rooting you too before you start to change your POV. Bring it back down to your right wall, back to your earth. Ooh, that's a big transition sometimes. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand to your heart. Bend your right knee, left toes to your mat. Open up, warrior 2. Find your warrior 2, take a second. Square your hips. That gate of your pelvic bone has expanded, so that means your lunge is a lot larger, a lot wider, and that's good. A lot longer. Straighten out your front right leg, and then bend it back. One more time, straighten and bend. We're gonna take a little bit of breath movement. So in, lengthen out. Bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, bend your right knee, press out any tension areas. In, lengthen, drop in that light, that care. Exhale, detox, release. Final breath in, floating in peace. Exhale, pressing away, releasing your chaos. Hold for your inhale. Find the sensation of ease. Exhale, frame out your right foot. Glide your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, big halfway lift. Hands can stay grounded to your shins. You have that block. Toes press down, heels draw up. Bend softly into your knees. Extend your tailbone back. Open your heart beyond the edge of your mat for 3, 2, on 1. Hands back to your earth, heels to your ground. Left leg stays nice and strong. Step your right toes back. Release your right knee, untuck your toes. Taking that same variation, dragon pose, hands on that thigh. You can hang out with me here. Fingertips rooted, big stretch across that right quad, that psoas muscle. Energy into the top of your right foot. Lift your right knee if that feels good. Just getting that stretch without compromising, crunching into your lower back. For 3, 2, on 1. Right knee falls to your mat. Take that half splits. Flex your toes. Right hip can drop onto your right heel. And we're just, again, utilizing rotation here. A nice gentle tug on that left hip We'll extend from the Achilles, from the heel that is rooted, all the way up to your calf, into the back of your knee, into all 3 layers of your hamstring for 2. 1. Then back into your front leg, walk yourself forward, tuck your right toes, square your hips, balance, rise, crescent Anjaneyasana. From here, tailbone tucks. We've been in this posture before on the other side, so find the changes, find little modifications that made this feel really secure. Perhaps you spread your toes out, anchor through the pinky and the big toe, and let all the other 3 mid toes kind of find their space, their path. 1 more breath in. Exhale, twist it over to your left. And just like we did before, right hand's gonna stay forward. Gaze is gonna stay at our right hand, left hand's gonna track back. Deepen into your edges. Breath in. Squeeze your scapulas together. As you exhale, then your gaze can travel to your left, back to your left. Hold for 1. Back through your center. Forward. Inhale, rise. Take that twist 1 more time, keeping your hips square, rotating, using your core, not just using momentum. Inhale, back into your center. Hands come to heart center as you exhale. Hinge forward, lightning pose. Then your right hand discovers the block and you shift forward. Warrior 3. Finding that equilibrium, that balance first. Pelvic bone really firming in, spiraling from your left hip down into your left foot. Inhale, left hand rises up. Just like we did on the other side, we're gonna squeeze and find our deepest rotation first, and then change the POV. Here for 2. Carefully control your release. Gaze travels down. Left hand, right toe. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, hands to your hips. Straighten out your front left leg. Exhale, bend back. Take that 2 more times, and then we'll add in the arm variation. Maybe close your eyes on this side. That's a little bit daring, a little bit challenging. Inhale, legs straightens, palms fuse together. Exhale, press away that chaos. Inhale, drop in your light. Exhale, release those hateful words. Inhale, send in that love. Last one, exhale. Press away that chaos, that noise. Inhale, walk yourself back into your strength. Exhale. Bring out your left foot. Slide that block away. Step your left leg back. High plank. Hinge it forward. Bend your elbows lower down. Upward facing dog for any heart variation. Open it up. Squeeze your heels together. Rotate your biceps out. Find that energy. Exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Deep exhale it out. 1 more inhale, lift your hips, lift your heels. As you exhale, roll into your tabletop. Untuck your toes. Sit down onto those heels. Ooh. Beautiful, fantastic work today. So we have just a little bit left before we soften down. We're gonna take our time as we unwind some of those twists. So as we work through today, it's less about you pressing, and more about you finding that stretch from shoulder to opposite hip, from shoulder to opposite hip, from one side to the other. So beginning, hands to your mat, and lower into a nice little kind of variation of a mini cobra. We're not gonna lift our chest very deep. So hands are grounded, feet are wide, chin to your mat. Bend your left knee, press into your left palm, and using the strength of your core, your left quad, your left glute, lift your left knee and just take that rotation. Right ear to your mat, left leg can fall all the way to your mat if that feels good. That's gonna be a deep stretch, or that left leg can just kind of hover. And we're just applying a little bit of groundedness in our hand for 3, We're not dumping into that lower back, so feel free to just keep it lifted too. And it's not your hip that is pulling you. It's the simple weight of that big toe of yours. It gives you just that added little bit of gravity. So your hips really can stack over each other. Final one. On your exhale, left leg, left foot down. Drop your left ear to your mat, arms fold by your side. Take a second. 3 big breaths in. You should notice a difference. Left spine, a little bit more examined, a bit juicier. Final 2. On 1, crawl your fingertips underneath your shoulders, chin back to your mat. Just like we did before, so we're gonna anchor into our right hand more than our left. Bend your right knee. Inhale, lift your right leg, utilizing that strong core. And again, this can be your focus. Press a little bit into that right palm and open up your right ribs. You wanna go further? Left ear to your mat, take that toe over and just big stretch. We're finding the stretch wherever we're at. Again, hip does not have to go beyond the other. They can stay very much stacked. Lifting the leg, dropping it, finding what feels good for 2. On 1, release your right thigh, right leg down. Chin to your mat for a second, big breath in. Right ear to your earth, arms fall by your side for a count of 3. 1 more breath in. Exhale, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Rise up into your tabletop. Sweep your legs through. Extend out your heels. Forward fold seated. When it calls to you, inhale. Tickle your ceiling, your sky. Exhale, drape over those legs of yours, your shins, your knees, your quads. And as you just let go and your body gets heavier and heavier, don't worry about when you stop. Trust that you'll continue to fall into the stretch. Last 1. Inhale, roll it up. Stacking your shoulders up and over your hips. Scoot your tailbone forward, lower onto your back. Knees float into your heart. Give yourself a big squeeze. Last little bit, happy baby. Knees drop into your armpits. Stamp your feet into the sky. Sway it out a few times here. For 3. Final 2, great. On 1, tuck your chin into your chest. Give yourself 1 big squeeze, full breath in when you get to the very top. Let it go, final Shavasana. Legs long, arms fall by your side. We'll be here for a few moments. Just let your breath take over. On your next breath in, slowly let it spiral down, finding your knees, your toes, your fingertips. Exhale it out. Big stretch on your next inhale. Take your time. Reach through your poles. Squeeze your knees into your chest. Rock and roll. Roll on over. Find your easy seat. Legs crossed, hands at heart center, chin tucked, eyes closed. Twists are a wonderful way for our practice to physicalize itself and show us all the dimensions, planes, qualities, elements that we contain. And that though on our mat we primarily focus on breath and body, that our journey expands beyond those. On your next inhale, float your hands from your heart to the wisdom of your third eye. Pour into that wisdom, soak it up, take a breath in. Bow yourself forward. Namaste. Fantastic. Wonderful work. Twists are a lot. They are complex. They are exhausting. They are strength building. But they're also rejuvenating, invigorating, and a wonderful way for you to detox, release those things that are physical or other. Thank you for journeying with me, joining me on this. I will see you again in the next day.